It's Sunday, and you know what that means? Well, Super Bowl, but also Mushoku Tensei. Yeah, baby. Oh man, um, some of the fans were kind of angry about this. They felt like it was pretty much rushed. Well, most people who read the manga are upset. Mainly, web novels like novel readers are all pretty okay with it. They kind of understand they did what they had to do. Let's face it, you can't adapt everything into an anime or a movie or whatever. You just can't do it. And all you can do is make sure you keep the important scenes, and that's all you can do. You know what I'm saying? You can't put everything in there, you know? It would be nice to have a better explanation of them showing why Paul did what he did. I would agree on that. Definitely. For instance, too bad they couldn't show like I feel like they did take a lot of time um doing other things like last episode where it was just all about the family meeting and stuff, and it just took up a lot of time. I will admit that. And they spent more time with Rudius and Selphie hanging out. They would have had a better understanding of what's going on with the thing. For instance, how what Paul was trying to say. For instance, where there are times in light novels in the manga where Paul is having conversations with Selphie's father as well. I think his name is Roy. I can't remember, but he was saying how Selphie saw Rudy as something close as to a god as well, because this is what Roxy did to Rudy. Rudy did to Selphie, and because of that, she saw him just the same way, but not in a perverted way, of course. And it was the point where we were saying how she was even disobeying her parents and even listening more to whatever Rudy has told her to do than anything else. For instance, the parents were telling her to do something, and it goes against what Rudy has once told her. She was like, but Rudy will do this. And I said before, she does this because Rudy did something where even her parents failed to do, and it brought her true salvation. And that's the reason why she holds Rudy in such high regards. And as time was going on, Rudius wasn't improving in his magic, and at the same time, Selphie was being too reliant on Rudius, just listen to whatever he says. And that also goes to a point where Selphie was younger, her parents would tell her stories about how the princess would be saved by a knight or prince by the bad people. And Selphie always holds to the stories, wishing that someday someone will save her from her torment. So Rudius ended up being her knight in shining armor, her prince. And it's the reason why she listened to whatever anything he said. And it makes a lot of sense that way. That's what she hold on to. That's all she could hold on to in her hellhole until Reese came along. So imagine if Rudy's never did went outside. Roxy never did encourage him to go outside. Selphie would continue being tortured and upset and raged to be inside. Actually, there's actually an alternate story to that, actually, but I'm not going to get into that. So Paul knocked him out, and he meets Ghislaine. There's a manga joke where he calls Ghislaine Titty Kitty, which is pretty hilarious. But you can see why he called her that. But I do like how Paul made a joke about how she's the muscle brain, and how she can beat Paul even in the sword, but she can't beat Paul in bed. You know what I mean? So once again, Mr. Butcher Pete Paul is he chopped Ghislaine's meat, man. He chopped that meat. Yeah. Oh man, that will be very interesting. There's actually a very interesting story behind that too, but I don't want to get into that just yet. You know, there's a lot of stories, a lot of the conversations that the characters have in this show that I just can't get into. And there's actually very a story within these conversations. Believe it or not, you'd be surprised. Even to the point where Paul lives all out in the village, in the boonies with Zenith and stuff. It's all thanks to the Lord Phillips, of the mayor of Aurora. A lot of stuff to talk about. So he goes into the mansion where they're gray rats, but they're Boris gray rats. Yes, they're gray rats, but you have to remember what matters the most is that middle name. There's Natos and there's the Boris. They didn't talk about the Natos yet, so we only know it's the Boris house. But anyways, he is to be a tutor to their daughter, Eris. And we get to see Mad Dog herself, Eris. Or an alternate timeline, the Mad Lion or something. Different timeline. No spoilers. So we get to see her in her full bloom and how she was so. I would say that the manga does do a better job at um, character facial expressions, but the thing is that the anime is not doing the character facial expressions like the manga did. The manga had its dark moments, but also was still kind of cartoony. Where in the anime, they're not doing those crazy out of whack animated facial expressions that you would like to see in the manga. So that's why things are a bit more different and a bit more down to earth. For instance, the fight with Eris and Rudius was more wacky, where she was chasing him around the mansion, beating him up and stuff. It was a lot crazier, but they changed that. And there was also when Rudius actually met the grandfather as well, and that's when things started to happen. But things changed. Now, Rudius' plan and to make her want to hire him as a tutor was a bit crazy, but the guy had to go crazy for a crazy girl. Pretending to get kidnapped, but actually getting kidnapped. And it's thanks to the butler. And once again, another change between manga readers and light novel readers. With the manga readers, you're going to have this more well-adjusted butler. In the novels, I don't remember much of the image of the butler in the novels. I do remember the image of the butler in the manga, so that's why people will be a bit confused. But they're doing things more of the novel than they are the manga. So if you're a manga reader, you will be disappointed in the things that they don't have in there. Because like I said before in my manga reviews, when it comes to Mushoku Tensei manga, they actually put stuff in there that the novels don't have, which I do appreciate in a way. Even a certain character. But I'm not going to get into that. Now, they are kidnapped. Eris is being ignorant as usual to the point where she was getting the snot beat out of her. I wasn't sure to show it, but nope, they showed it. She was getting pounded, man. She just out of beat. Like, girl, shut your mouth. And even after that, she's just a girl who was raised as a brat. You know, she is spoiled. She gets whatever she wants, but she was also born with incredible strength, and that's thanks to the genes of her grandfather. And so she looks down on people and stuff like that. So Rudius tries to convince her, like, yo, man, you gotta listen to what I say if you want me to help you out. And even then, in the cartoon, well, the manga, like I said, was being more cartoony. She had more a face of desperation and stuff. They just show them going into an inn, trying to sleep. She can't sleep. They're showing other things that they did skip in the anime. But like I said, they're cutting off the fat. They're only putting in the important things. They're trying to get more to the point. And I don't think it really damages the story, in my opinion. It doesn't. So the way they discovered that one of the butlers did betray them, and why, who they're selling to, you'll be surprised. Listen, even to the point of their kidnapping runs deep ties within the story. That'll run into other ties as well. You will be surprised how much well written, even to certain just certain scenarios, will come back full circle later on throughout the show. If you read the novels or even the manga, you'll be surprised in that way. Like from the kidnappings, from other things that will happen in the future, it all goes around one peculiar certain person that, in my opinion, should be the most hated character in the entire series, in my opinion. Like, my god, I can't stand this character. But no spoilers. Now, Rudius did choose to save her instead of joining up with these guys. And I do like how each style of sword class you get is determined on their personality. For instance, you've seen someone like Ghislaine, who is a sword god, and she's very good at it, but she's full out sword god. Because that, with sword god style people, you'll see them mostly, they don't think, they act on instinct, they're very strong and fast, they're always on the offense, don't even think about defense or strategy, they just go in fighting, but they're really good at it. Then you have the North god style, people who do trickery. They'll use the sword, but they also use other weapons as well, and they use tricky movements and techniques to get the upper hand on their opponents. That's North God style. People who think, agile. Someone like Paul. Then, of course, there's the Water God style, which is defense. You are a calm, cool, collective kind of person who waits for your opponent to do the attacking first, and you do out the strategy. That is Water God. So, depending on your personality and your character traits will determine which one you excel at the most. That's the reason why I just love this series, is for the amount of detail they have, even within the fighting styles. So, reason them are sane, and he had a little quick thought about what was happening, where he could have died because of what happened. If it wasn't for Ghislaine, he would have died. So thanks to her coming in, they were saved, and Eric decided to hire him in the end of the day for a tutor. So there he goes. Now he has 5 years. He cannot write or just go back to the village for 5 freaking years, man. That's crazy. He's see, he's 7 right now, so like 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. He'll be 12 when he goes back to the village and stuff. He can't be able to see selfies, and when he does, he'll be able to take selfies to school, and they be on their happy little ever after. And the end. Anyway, so it's like, God, man. Looking forward to it, man. It goes by too fast. I wish it could last longer, but oh well. So if you enjoyed this video, like, comment, subscribe, and of course, hit that bell icon. This has Madcrownxox on anime. Signing out.